guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. I'm really pleased you came back to see me and to see this watch. So I've got a Spinnaker in. They contacted me a little while ago asking if I'd feature one of their Marine Conservation Society watches. They do a lot of this sort of stuff. It's to be applauded. They're trying to give back. They're trying to make people aware of the damage we've done to the planet really, and the ocean as a whole. So they sent me the Haas version, the automatic. This has got a turtle on the dial. There's a couple of others with the whale and the squid, I believe. All three look very, very cool. I didn't have any preference. I'm really pleased this one arrived. The specs on this watch are fantastic. The loom looks amazing. I was only too happy to feature it, to be honest. So this is released on the 16th of June, which is in and around the time that I'm going to release this video. Hopefully on the 16th, but it may be a bit of a lag depending on stuff. But the 16th is when I'm hoping to get this video out the release day. Please do head over and check these out. The money is going also towards a good cause, and you are going to get a beautiful piece on your wrist. So like I said, I've got the Haas with the turtle, as I said, a couple other variations to choose from, so do check them out. And Spinnaker, what we know about Spinnaker is they do make some fantastic watches. I've already featured their Dumas, and I've had a KO in before. So yeah, excellent watches. So I'm sure this will follow in that same vein. But I'll stop going on. We'll cover lots of stuff through the video, and hopefully by the end you'll know it's for you or not. So without further ado, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Okay, so guys and girls, this is the watch. The packaging is pretty cool. A real nod to obviously the watch that they're making and what they're trying to do. It's a really good cause, as you'll see in the thumbnail. It's a dive with a conscience is what I've called it. Marine Conservation Society and Spinnaker, good combination. This is the little note they sent me, so yeah, that was good to see. Out of box. Inside you've got another box, a little bit more substantial, more writing on there. They give you some cards. So this is the artwork. I think the artwork looks lovely, really, really nice. Rachel Brooks art. She's done very, very well with that. Well done, Rachel. Got a card. So they're limited. It's limited edition. Mine's not been given a number, but obviously yours will as and when you purchase it. Some more information about something that it's good to see companies like Spinnaker aligning themselves with this, because it's a real issue. Something that we're suffering, our children are going to suffer from, grandchildren. It's something we need to be aware of. And it just talks about single-use plastics and stuff. It's very difficult to open because obviously I'm wearing gloves, but yeah, definitely worth a read there, guys. There we are, and there's the watch. More importantly, well, not more importantly because it is important, but this is the reason you've really tuned in, isn't it? Because you want to see the watch. As I said, limited edition, has got a little side bit. You can see I've taken out 3 links for it to fit my wrist, excuse me, and it does come with a canvas strap that you'd have also seen in the intro. So there we are. Also signed the pin buckle clasp on that canvas strap. And then we just put everything to the side, and we can focus on the watch. So there you go, guys. As you can see, you've got the turtle on the dial. This is a Haas watch. This is one of their models they do, the Haas version. This is the SP-5123. And as I say, there's a couple of other colour variations to choose from, all model sort of where they've aligned with the Marine Conservation Society. They've got the blue whale and the squid. I'll bring them up now. Different prices as well. I'll bring those up also, just to give you an idea. So yeah, all 3 of these are released on the 16th, which is today. So please head over if you wish to purchase one. But inside this watch is running an automatic Seiko NH35 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. Rugged, reliable, 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, 41 hour power reserve. And I've said many, many times, it runs well within those sort of parameters, so never an issue with the movement personally. So there you are. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal, is all 316L stainless steel. So brushing on the H-Link bracelet, you have got a faceted edge inside, which is actually really, really nicely done. Because of the way they've done it, it's probably going to stay looking good because it's very difficult to touch it. But yeah, so there you are. Nicely brushed. More of a satin brush on the watch generally, to be honest. As you'll see on the side of the case, also brushed, faceted edge, polished, brush on top of the lugs. Case back, brushed, and you've got some information on there. I'll show you in a moment. Fully milled clasp, or the outer shell may be pressed, but it doesn't matter. It looks, for all intents and purposes, like a fully milled clasp. All brushed again. Double safety catch, and also signed with Spinnaker. Solid end links, really nicely constructed. I've got a little gripe that we'll go through in a few moments, but there we are. That's the construction of the watch. The case thickness of the watch is 14.8 millimeters. The case diameter, when I go from the 8 to the 2, is measuring at 42.8, and when you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown, it's coming at 46.1 millimeters. The lug width on this is 22. That does taper down to 18 mil and back up to 20 mil at the clasp. And the lug to lug is a true lug to lug, given it's got female end links at the center link. It's coming at 50.7 millimeters. So they're the proportions. A little bit thicker than I would have liked, but generally not bad proportions. Not a small watch though, so do bear that in mind, guys. The case back, as I showed you just a moment ago, is screwed down. Let me put it right this way around so you can have a look. Again, with what it has on the front, the turtle and the baby turtle, and just other bits of information that we're going to run through now. As you'll see, it's got 000 of 000. Yours will be a certain number of 300 as and when you make your purchase. So there you are, guys. That's what it has on the case back and screwed down, as I mentioned. The bezel is one of the biggest problems, to be honest. This one is really difficult to grab hold of. It's stainless steel, and it's really tough. This isn't just because of the gloves. This has been quite difficult to grab hold of. Generally, 120 click uni-directional bezel, lines up nicely, but it just looks like it hasn't got enough grip, to be honest. They could have done with a bit of coining on there or something, because it is difficult to grab hold of. Very difficult to turn. Not the most satisfying, if I'm being honest. That could have done with being. If they're going to use that sort of grip, they need to make it a little bit looser, because otherwise it's very difficult to turn. And if you was going to take this swimming or diving, your hands are going to be wet at the time of turning it, which will also make it that bit more tricky. So there you are. The crown is situated at the 3 o'clock sign, screwed down crown. Nice size, really good size actually. There we are. The bracelet I mentioned already is a H-link bracelet, tapers down nicely, all brushed, has a polished faceted edge in the middle, down to its fully milled clasp, safety catch, double safety pushers, and all brushed also. The crystal, excuse me, what I didn't mention about what you do have on here is you've got a diver's extension, just to make it a little bit bigger if you need to put it over a wetsuit or whatever you're going to use, but then it's quite easy to sort of close up again afterwards. The crystal covering the dial is sapphire crystal. It does look like it's got a reasonable amount of AR coating on there as well, given how it's not really playing too much with the studio lighting, so that's good to see. The water resistance is cited as being 300 meters. You also see that on the dial and the case back, so that'll give you 30 atmospheres of water resistance. And I leave the weight next to me. So on the bracelet, it's coming at 198.4 grams. And on the NATO canvas style strap, it's 106, just below 117 grams. So the head of the watch generally is weighing a fair bit, but because it's so big, I'm sure that's probably to be expected, really. But yeah, there we go. But that now take me on to the dial. Let's have a look at the dial, guys. This is where the watch really shines. So you've got a rehaut. On the rehaut, you've got we've got a chapter ring on there, minute track going around the outer edge. Inside that, you've got applied battens everywhere. You've got a slightly smaller one at the 3 o'clock because you have got a date window there. So the battens look cool, sort of yellow, and then inside that you've got obviously the turtles on the dial, sort of like, but it is like a fume dial. It goes from sort of yellow to green. I do like that. Really nice. Spinnaker just below the 12. That looks like it's been applied. Automatic, 1000 feet, 300M. It looks like it's been printed on. You've got limited edition either side of the batten at the 6. And I'll bring the loom up now because obviously that's what you really want to see. The loom on this is very good. I do like the sort of different colours and how it looks. I think the loom on this and how they've done it, how they've executed it, is very, very cool. Looks really, really nice. They've done a very, very good job of that, in my opinion. Yeah, as I mentioned before, NH35 movement. Crown is easy to use. You'll see as I twist it, it pops away nicely from the case. Good sort of size stem on there. If you can change the time to wherever you want to put it back in, it will start back up again because it obviously hacks. Color match date window, they've gone for black with white writing as opposed to white with black writing, which is probably cool with this watch. If you turn it towards you, you'll see you can change the date. If you put it in the position it is when you unscrew it from the case, you turn it away from you can charge it up also. But that's the movement, guys. But like I said, I think the real place where this watch shines is the dials. I think the dials that they've opted for look really, really cool. I wore this for a good couple of weeks and had many comments on it. I sort of couldn't talk about it too much. I didn't want people to know, because obviously at the time then it was very no one knew about the watch really, so I couldn't really mention anything. But just said, yeah, cool looking piece. But there we are. That's the dial, guys. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. Okay, so guys and girls, that's what it looks like on me. I've just got just above a 7-inch wrist. So doesn't look too big, but it's probably at the maximum of what I like to wear. I don't like my watches too big, but that's just personal preference. But there you are. Really nice with the greens and yellows along with the silver accents. I like the fact the hands, the way they've done the hands, they're not high polished, they're brushed, which I think is cool. It's in keeping with the watch itself. The watch is brushed, and I think this look gives a better aesthetic against the backdrop of the green and yellow. But there we are. Let me just take it off the wrist quickly, and that will take me on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I think is pants, only a couple of things. I'm going to mention the bezel grip, as I spoke about earlier. It's not pleasurable turning that bezel because it's a bit stiff and it needs better grip. So one or the other will be nice, or both. And the thickness, I think it's coming at just below 15 mil. And it's a bit unnecessary really. You can see how much of it's the bezel. The bezel's not even giving much grip, so what needs to be that thick I'm not sure. And the case back and stuff. So yeah, if they could take a mil or two off that, that'd be great. So that's the thickness as well. So I'll go with the bezel grip and thickness. What I think is pucker, a lot more to be honest. I like the dial. I think the dials on these watches are really why you're buying them, to be honest. They're well made because it's Spinnaker, but those dials are the turtle and the way they've done the loom as well is fantastic. Yeah, the loom. The date colour, it's good that they've gone with black with white as opposed to white with black, as I mentioned. The bracelet, amongst my favourite bracelets is H-Link bracelets. So nice to see that they got it on here as well. Nice touch, nicely done. Like I said, with the polished faceted edge in the middle, where it's unlikely to get scratched as well. That's a nice touch. So the bracelet's done well. Good size crown, nice to deal with. Nice knurling and stuff on there as well. And the cores generally, I think the cores, I know Spinnaker do like to do stuff like this, and it's to be applauded, to be honest. I feel like we've all got a duty to care about the planet more, and leave it in as good a shape as we can to the next generation. So yeah, the cores is fantastic. So just to surmise what I think is pucker, as I go with the dial, loom, date colour, bracelet, crown, and the cores. And guys and girls, would I recommend this watch? I mean, I would. It's not going to be one for if you've got small wrists or if you don't like big watches generally, but it's probably not going to look like anything else you own. So as a statement piece, and also to give back to the Marine Conservation Society and the ocean as a whole, I think it's definitely worth buying. So guys and girls, please head over if you wish to buy one. As I said, free to choose from, so hopefully there's one in your taste. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care guys, all the very best.